Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is Monday and I'm very excited about this week. I am going to focus, I don't know how many days will be involved because I'm going to be doing many different types, but I'm going to start working on items that the subscribers in the giveaway video had commented. I had asked you what items would you like to see me do. People had different requests. The majority of them revolve around one type of journal cover, journal covers. And one subscriber is interested in binding techniques, so I thought I would add those in there. And someone asked for a laptop style journal, which I will do, but I wanted to start on a couple different kinds of journal covers, show different techniques that I know for binding, and do the lap book. I'm going to try to address each and everyone's comments. So first of all, thank you to all of my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, and comment. It would be greatly appreciated. For today's, what I plan on starting today, I didn't really know what style journal I was going to start on. And as I started pulling fabrics and what have you, I seem to be going towards sort of a boho-ish style, I guess, journal cover. I've grabbed all kinds of things that I plan to use in addition to we'll do some beading, sequins, buttons, different things. So I'm really excited about this. I think this one is going to be not an exact traveler's notebook, but on the style of a traveler's notebook. I may use the eyelets and the elastic, for it to be a traveler style notebook. If not, it's going to be about, what I mean, on the lines of a traveler's notebook that I either use the eyelets or we stitch in the journal. You can stitch in the journal. So I always start out with fabric. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I always start out with a piece of fabric when I'm working on either a slow stitch journal or, something like this where it's piecework. Because I know that I want to be doing a lot of stitching, with the sequins and the beads and buttons and whatever else, I choose to add to this. Then I can always glue this to my journal base. So I'm starting out with this fabric. I identified where my spine is really going to go. I know approximately how wide I want it to be. So I sort of drew me some rough lines. I don't have to stay within those parameters, but it's going to help me as I'm placing things to know, like, this is where I would like the edge of my journal to be. This is where I would like the top of my journal to be. So as I'm laying things, I have an idea of where those things should or shouldn't go. So, with that being said, I've shown you, well, quite a bit of what I have over here. Not everything. I have quite a bit. And I just wanted to grab this because I wanted to see. I'd like to start out with, well, I could put that on that way. And I'm just going to lay some items. I'm going to make sure. I'm concerned about, I don't want all my fabric to meet here at the spine. We need it to cross over that so that when the book is folded, you don't have that, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think it will make sense. I'm just going to start laying down, I guess, some fabrics to get an idea of how big I want the pieces to be, where I want pieces to be, because as I lay down the fabrics, then I'll go back and add, like, I really like this. This seemed to go with the colors I had picked out. You know, where I can add some trim. I have a couple different pieces of trim. I have, you know, different pieces of lace that I may use pieces of. This, which I have been hoarding for like probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Just different things. So it's sort of going to start out sort of like a collage. And I don't mean to scare you off because you know how slow I am at collage. But I usually do a little bit better with fabric than I do with paper when it comes to collage. So I'm just going to lay that there. This is a piece of a Acantha quilt. And they always have different designs on both sides, so I always check that. For some reason, I really like these polka dots. I think this is, if I haven't already said it, is sort of leading itself towards being a boho style journal. We'll see. And I sort of want the pieces to be, well, let's see. I think what's throwing me are my pieces are so big at this point. And I guess I could bring this over because I don't know if I want this one to go around. Alright, I'm just going to start with that. If I use that piece, then I think I want, and see, we can cut these down to smaller strips. We might want a piece going this way because we'll fill all that in with different elements. I'm just sort of going to fold that like that so I have an idea of where I want to go. I want this. I could use a different piece of fabric going across the back. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I moved this thinking I was going to cut another piece, but I'm not going to. I'm going to see if I can work some of this out here. So I went to the post office this morning and mailed out the journals to the subscriber giveaway winners. So that's a good feeling to know that I got that accomplished. And even though the line was fairly long at the post office, it went very quick. Quick until me. And maybe I don't want this piece that big. Maybe that's what's throwing me. I'm going to cut this down. So I'm just going to place different blocks of fabric and then go back and add, or maybe move things around, or I know that's going to be about the top of my journal, so I'm going to go about to there. Here's the bottom of my journal. I could use, oops. My hand is feeling better this morning, See how long that lasts again. That's been a thorn in my side for the last week. I feel better and then take that little thing off and it gets worse. So my bottom is there, and I'm sure I'll be adding something across the top there. Let's see, I might add a piece of this on the back maybe. I love this Cantha quilt. Decisions, decisions. I don't want the back to be maybe if I bring this down. I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Like I said, I will be probably, more than likely, moving things around 100 times. I want this. Let's just cut a piece. I don't know about what's going on here. Let's see at the back if I want a big piece of fabric on the back too. Maybe I can incorporate some of this. My process when I'm making something, it takes me honestly forever to figure out what exactly I want to do, and I'm always playing around with things before I glue them down, you know, because I'm trying to figure out, like this, I'm not 100% satisfied with this yet, so I may be changing things up, you know, moving things around. I just don't know. I have this that I thought I might be able to use pieces. I had a pen pal a long time ago that sent this to me. I'm not going to play with that. Let's see if this fabric, I know it seems sort of crazy. Might be a bit much. maybe. No. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter because that's the front and this is the back. So this really could go here if I wanted it to. Oh, I need something there, don't I? Put this up here. So I want to bring some of this in here, I think. Maybe, I think I want this one in here. And I can actually pull these up some because the bottom of my book is there. Or bring this down some. I do want it to sort of wrap around the edge, so I'm trying to be conscious of that. I'm just not happy with just 2 pieces of fabric there. Well, the reason I wanted this down here is because I feel like all the patchwork, if you will, is happening on the bottom of the journal. Am I missing any fabric over here? Yellow. I think this would be too white. I'm sorry that I'm getting quiet. I'm thinking. You know me. I can't think and talk at the same time. I would need a wider piece. I don't know if that's how I want to go. I don't think that's the route I want to go. That could definitely be up here because that's part of the fabric that's going to be folded over the edge. And I always have to fold and see, okay, where's the edge of my journal ending? So this I would want, I'm going to cut a wider piece of this. The scraps don't go to waste. Getting pretty loud, isn't it? Alright, so I'm going to stop with that. Where's the bottom of this? Pull that down further. Now I just want to see and I had a choice of I make sure I don't end that right on. Okay. So let's just pretend that's what we're going with. Then let's bring in some other things to see if this is how we want to leave it. I don't think I'm using that. And I don't know if I'm crazy with this, but I could also add well, maybe not. Ooh, just barely. This needs to come over. All right, let me see. Let me see the different things I have over here that I was thinking about and see if all of this is staying. I was going to start out very basic with just squares, and you see where I've ended up. I'm definitely going to use this piece on this. I want to see. All right, I'm going to go with the layout because I feel like it's going to be sort of crazy anyway. You know what I mean? It's going to be very colorful. So I'm just going to pin these pieces. And what I will do, so you don't have to watch this, I'm just going to pin these pieces in place here and then take it to my sewing machine, stitch these pieces in place, trim off so we'll have a better idea of where things are, you know, where the actual journal is going to be. And then we'll come back and it's basically like layering. Come back with other elements, like whether it be lace pieces or trims, get that out of the way, and then we'll start adding the little details. Okay, so I'm going to turn you off here. I'm going to stitch this down, and I'll see you in a few. Hello everybody, I am back, and I have to admit several hours have passed between this. I've had a lot of interruptions today, but I just want to show you I stitched all this down, and I sort of feel like it looks different once it's stitched, you know. I've been doing some playing around with different things. I've had it folded to sort of see what my front's going to be, what my back is going to be type thing. And I've given some thought on what I want to do. And for right now, I sort of want to keep this folded. I've been playing with all these measuring tapes, trying to figure out where exactly my journal is going to, you know, the top's going to be the bottom, the side type thing. So that's why I have all this laid out here. I am measuring, I know from this line here, which just happened to be there in that fabric, I'm measuring up 9 inches for the fabric cover. And so I've been laying a measuring tape here to sort of block in my measurement for me. I know that about 1/2 inch in is going to be folded over. Something like that. I think that's about right. Yeah. So it would be about 5 inches wide, I guess. Yeah, about 5 inches wide. And I've been laying this here just so I have sort of a view of what my journal cover is. I know it's sort of silly, but that's how I sort of work. When I'm working on stuff like this, I am constantly folding under and pinning under, trying to figure out where I want things and that type of thing. So through everything that I've pulled out, I keep coming back to this butterfly, and I've had it just about everywhere on here. So I know that's one thing that I want to use. I've been through all of my trims. I like this, but I don't want to use it on this journal just because I've only made one boho journal, and on that boho journal I use this, so I just don't want to do that. So anyway, let me show you what I've come up with for the front. And I took a picture as I was playing around. I have some idea of where I'm going with it, but I don't know for certain. I definitely want to use this, and I sort of like it here. And then, as crazy as it seems, I really like the way this looks on here. I like that everything's not completely matchy-matchy. I like the contrast. I came up with the idea of my butterfly. I almost put it away because I just couldn't come up with anything. I like the idea of my butterfly being here. So those are 3 things that I know I want to do. And I want to make sure the butterfly is on the front of the journal. That's why I sort of have this here to know where my edge is going to be. But this is what I've come up with so far. That leaves these sections here. I thought about possibly, and I could bring this down some, but I thought about putting this up at the top. I don't know yet. And I know it's like, where is this pink coming from? But, and I thought I might have enough of that to go all the way around on the back side too. I might bring this down a little bit. I hate that I'm covering all that fabric. But that's the way the ball bounces, right? So this is sort of what I've come up with so far. And I've been looking at it. I've done different things. I take pictures of it. I go through the pictures to see, you know, it's taking on a whole new look from what I had envisioned in my mind. And that's what always happens to me, constantly. I'll have a vision, and I'm just wondering if I bring this down a little bit more. I'll tell you what's really bothering me is where this fabric here, I put it under this and under this, so I have this little corner here that's really throwing me off. I'll just open this for now because I sort of know where my center is. And that's why I keep trying to put this up higher to sort of cover that. I don't know, I could probably run both of these. I like that this only goes part way on the front here. And I really like that on the back too. Let me remeasure them again. Use this one here. This gives me a better feel. I just know I need about ½ an inch to go around my side, you know, around the cover. It'll probably be cardstock, is what I'm guessing. So if I put those like that, I'll lay this up here. Let's see. Get my measurement here. Probably think I'm a nut the way I work. But this just gives me a good idea so I can envision what the cover is going to look like. And then, like I said, I'm on the fence about this. But if I put it on, it would be right there at the top of the journal. I sort of feel like this is... So that would be the top of my journal. And then I thought, I haven't picked out any buttons yet. And I don't know, this is where I'm getting, like, do I need something here? Do I not need something here? But I sort of feel like a few buttons might be nice. I just don't know what buttons I would use. I'd really like to know what your opinion is of this pink. But I think I'm going to pin these down. Don't really like that button. You know what I should do? No, I wouldn't be able to tell. So I'm just going to pin these in place. It's been a really beautiful day here today, I think even much warmer than what the weathermen had predicted, which they never predict our weather correct. They're always off. I'd love to have a job like that where you could be wrong almost every day. At least with temperatures, you know. But anyway, the people next door, they have a couple, well, he's divorced, but he has shared custody of his 2 kids. So they've been over there the last few days, and just hearing the kids in the neighborhood playing, it's a nice sound to hear. And I don't know. I'm gonna lay that there for now. It's sort of like, if I don't use that trim, see, I don't know what to put up here. That's why I was thinking of buttons. I sort of feel like I need bigger buttons. Let me just pick out a few, just throw them down, just to sort of have a feel what I want. White or brown. Big ones. I like this button here. It sort of acts like a little flap. I don't look in this jar. I just don't know what color buttons to do. I'm sort of indecisive right now. I'm in that. This morning I was really feeling this, you know, and then with unexpected things happening today, it sort of took my creativity away. There's a really big button, but I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like what's going on. I feel like I need big buttons. Let me see if I don't like that white. I see a dark button here. Don't like the blue. The buttons are going to be a struggle. And I have to decide if I like this or not. Right now I'm not liking it very well. So I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to stick with these. In the back here, this is what I was trying to determine. My 9 inches is up here. I'm just curious, looking at the back here, just pinned all this down, but doesn't matter, right? What if we raise this? The only reason I want to raise it is because, yeah, I'd like to bring it up that far so I have this little square going on here. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and repin this. I like working on things like this. I really do. It's just I'm a slow decision maker. So for video purposes, it could become quite painful for the viewers. That's my only concern. That's why I try to make some decisions off camera, so you don't have to suffer through my decision process. But at the same time, I think it shows you that things don't just come like that to me. It takes me a while to play around and decide what it is I want to do. I've started journal covers in the past and like set them aside while I do the journal because the original idea I had I wasn't liking, you know? And sometimes things just come to you. See, I sort of like that. I just don't know. I'm going to leave that lay there. I like this. And then I need to figure this out. And my halfway point is about here. Somewhere about there. I think that's why I wanted this one over here. They're roughly half an inch there. I want to be able to see about here. So right here is where we are. And then I know I'm going to add some buttons somewhere. I want to give some thought because maybe I would want to do, just looking here at those polka dots. I don't know, and I'm not saying it's these 3 buttons, but maybe I would want to do 3 buttons. Or, don't like that. I don't know. I have to give this some thought. But I like what's going on here so far. I think I'm going to pin this down just so I get an idea. And then what I'll do this evening, I'll stitch my trim on. And then we'll come up with an idea for, like, because I can still add some sequins or some beading. That'll give me some time to think about those types of things. And what I can put on the front here. And what I might want to do on the back side as well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drag you through this agony. I'm going to go ahead and work on, I'm definitely going to stitch these 3 things down. I'm going to give this some more thought before I actually sew it down. And then I will be back tomorrow and will determine what other elements, if any, we want to add to the front of the cover. But I feel like we need some more going on. So, with that being said, I will be back tomorrow and see what we come up with. Have a great evening and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.